quite a clip show. I'm usually not too big on the clip show formula since they just replay scenes I've already talked about, but since I've been behind on these videos for the past few months, it's nice to get a break since I don't have to do that much work for these episodes. And it is still the holiday season, so this episode's still relevant even though Halloween was 2 months ago. So let me go ahead and start my mini vacation as we look at episode 16, Grave Robber. The episode opens with the Rangers at the high school listening to Lee Vaden play his guitar when a creepy witch woman walks in to donate a box of stuff to the school. Though Principal Hastings tries to give back the box of junk, the woman seems to have vanished when Calvin notices a cool board game that the principal just gives to him because she's got nothing else to do with it. Calvin and Haley show the others they're fine, so the team goes off to play the game, but Lee Vaden stays behind because he doesn't like board games, saying that particular one looks lame. After the teens change into their costumes, they get ready to play the game, but when Brody flips the hourglass, things get spooky as Cosmo Royale appears on the crystal ball, revealing the game is a trap. Cosmo then lays out the rules for our heroes, saying that they can't move from their seat or contact anyone for help, and that the object of the game is to reach the end of the board before the hourglass runs out. However, every time they roll the dice, they must face a monster they've already defeated, meaning that this game is obviously going to be the framing device for the clips. The Rangers reluctantly agree to play the game since they've got no other choice, with Brody's role resulting in the team having to fight Trapsaw so we can use that suit one more time. The team then touches the crystal ball so they can take on the monster, which leads us to our first clip, so let's see what they got.
How did we get here? And when did we morph?
Welcome to Cosmo's Trap Rangers!
We're on the clock, Trapsaw.
Then it's 1/2 fight!
Wait, this isn't a clip. This looks like new footage. But how can that be? This is the Halloween special, right? So I guess since this is an actual scene, the Rangers try to fight off the villains only to get cornered, and Haley says they need the element of surprise, which gives Brody the idea to just take out all the bad guys himself with a sword attack. Well, that was bizarrely easy. Then again, this is the first level boss fight. Sarah then takes her turn, rolling for the team to fight Hack Track, but before the team teleports again, Sarah tells Calvin to grab a nearby toolbox while she gets a radio. When the Rangers meet Hack Track, the monster runs away to waste the Rangers' time, but Brody gives chase in a flying kite he can suddenly materialize, while Sarah modifies the radio she brought into a frequency jammer. After the jammer causes Hack Track to explode, the Rangers celebrate yet another victory, but Cosmo says they're still on the clock. Preston rolls next, landing on Slogar as the latest baddie, and though the team tries to avoid his slow miss during the fight, Slogar slows down most of the Rangers, thus taking more time. Yet to be affected by the slow miss, Brody tries to attack Slogar when the teens are suddenly pulled out by Cosmo, who tells the team they lost that round. Though Brody tries to argue, Cosmo says the Rangers earned a misfortune card that says the team's next turn is a solo fight, and since Calvin rolled his Inferno, that means he has to take on the monster alone. Instead of fighting, however, Calvin is tasked with getting free from a speeding truck and rescuing the unconscious driver before the truck flies off a cliff, and though the Yellow Ranger saves the driver, he's unable to save himself. Calvin's failure allows Cosmo to draw another misfortune card that summons a Skull Gator, so the Rangers call in their Megazord to fight the monster, but while they fight, Cosmo reads the rest of the cards, saying he can turn his Zord against the Rangers. Cosmo calls on the Robo Rider Zord, which Brody faces off with in his Robo Red Zord, while the other Rangers form the Astro Ninja Steel Megazord to take out the Skull Gator. However, the Robo Rider shakes off Brody's Zord, using its blaster to take out the Megazord, and to make matters worse, Cosmo calls on yet another Skull Gator to join the fray. We then cut back to Lee Vaden.
Having a spooky time there, Levi? I thought the others were with you.
They were singing with me earlier, but they went off to play some old board game. Didn't really interest me.
You didn't go with them.
Well, I don't really like board games.
So they did what you like to do, but then you wouldn't do what they like to do because you don't like board games. Is that right?
Well, sort of. It sounds selfish when you put it like that.
Oh, sorry. How else would you put it?
Well, gee, Mick, I don't know. Maybe that people have their own individual interests and don't have to be with each other all the time? Why are you trying to make this an issue anyway? The others were just fine with leaving Lee Vaden to his own devices, so what's the problem? Regardless, Lee Vaden does go to check on the others, only to find them trapped in Cosmo's game, so he touches the crystal ball and is teleported to their location, where Preston and Sarah explain the situation. Lee Vaden then uses his Zord Star to regain control of the Robo Rider, despite Cosmo's protests, and with the Gold Ranger's help, the team uses the Bull Rider Megazord to finish the final Skull Gator. Cosmo yells at the Rangers for cheating, saying they're almost out of time anyway, before Lee Vaden reveals that he has the hourglass, so the Rangers destroy it with their blasters, thus freeing them from the game. After the fight, Lee Vaden apologizes to the others, saying that being with friends is always fun no matter the activity, and the episode ends with the Rangers going trick-or-treating after they realize it's dark out. This episode is a lot of fun and a big surprise for me. While it isn't the clip show I was expecting, I've been saying for years that Saban should go back to producing real Halloween episodes instead of reusing old footage, and boy does this episode deliver. One thing that's impressive impressive about this episode is the fact that it doesn't get repetitive despite its structure. Rather than give us fight scene after fight scene against monsters that we've already seen the Rangers defeat, here we get a fight scene that's won by brute force, another fight scene that's won by outsmarting the villain, one fight scene that doesn't even get to end, an activity where a certain task must be completed, and a Megazord fight where the deck is stacked well against the Rangers. Every scene has the Rangers getting into increasingly more dangerous situations, and the ticking clock element is a perfect way to build tension. However, there are a few things that I didn't much care for in this episode, one of them being that the lesson seems to only exist so we can have a lesson for this episode, and I do have to question how Cosmo knew the Rangers were going to play the game by just delivering it to the high school, but that's more of a nitpick than anything else. Overall, this is a fun ride from start to finish that I enjoyed immensely. Finally, we have a true Halloween special, proving that these holiday episodes don't need to rely on old clips to be entertaining, and all I can say is I can't wait for the Christmas special. I'm Nick, aka IronBet1993, wishing you a happy holidays, and may the power protect you.
Please subscribe for reviews of Ninja Steel, episode reviews. Also check out Dino Charge reviews too, episode reviews. Also there's Ninjago, which has reviews too. Go! Please subscribe.